What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chimicomics. We got a read and tell for you today. We're going to be covering The Batman by Grant Morrison Omnibus Volume 2.
And since it's Grant Morrison, Tanner will not be in the episode.
No Tanner to hate on Grant Morrison today.
Because me and Riley actually like Grant Morrison.
But, like, with the first Omni, we kind of split it up into different stories. But this one reads as a whole story. The whole thing is one story. So we're just going to cover it all today.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get too deep into it, what would you rate this book? Like, what did you think of it?
I thought it was very good Batman, like, throughout the whole thing, and it had a lot from the Batman story. No spoilers, but there were a lot of characters that were coming back and new characters to make a new story. So it had the old and the new in this together, and it ties into Final Crisis, which was really good.
Yeah.
So, if I had to rate it, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Pretty good. This doesn't really spoil it. So, with Final Crisis, you know, Batman gets zapped back in time. And so, in the wake of that, you have Dick Grayson becomes Batman, and then Damian is his Robin. That dynamic is really fun.
Yep.
It's fun to see that. And Damian is like less of a douchey assassin guy, and now he's like, you know, more of a person.
Yeah, developing.
And he's actually like cooperating with Grayson and Alfred.
And it's not like every time they're out on a mission, Dick's not like, don't kill anyone. Like, he knows, like, he promised he's not killing anyone, and he doesn't.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's stepping up and is a good Robin. Yeah.
So, like, the first good chunk of this book is just that. Just them going on fun adventures. We get some Red Hood in there, which is pretty cool. And then it cuts to all the Batman stuff, which is really getting complicated.
Yeah.
If you haven't read Volume 1 and the Final Crisis Omni, I would highly recommend that. Or else you're going to be kind of
no
lost.
idea what's going on. Yeah, because in this story, the first 9 issues are all Batman and Robin. So that's the first, and that's a good 300 pages.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a good 300 pages of the Dick, Batman, Damian, Robin story, which is a really good start to it, I believe.
Overall, you know, with every Grant Morrison story, I have a couple like questions and confusions, but very enjoyable story, masterfully crafted, plenty of twists, surprises, and just tie-ups. You know, like these threads that he's been dragging on through his entire run are getting wrapped up.
Yeah, he's very good of like setting things off and not touching them until the end.
I give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Really likes.
I just love the way Morrison writes Batman. There's no one better for Batman, in my opinion. And I've read some others. But let's get into the story. Full spoilers.
So, start us off, it was Riddler the whole time.
Yeah.
Kidding, of course.
The whole time. So we, the first 3 issues are just Batman and Robin, fun stuff. They're together again.
Yeah.
When, you know, it's just another iteration of Batman and Robin.
And one thing I like is, since this is like the startup of Dick becoming Batman, he's trying to get used to the costume, because the first thing he did when he became Nightwing, cut off the cape. And now he has a cape, because he has to have a cape to be Batman. And he gets caught on something.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
So it opens up with a really cool car chase, just full page splashes.
Because they have a new Batmobile, and it's not the normal Batmobile, it's a flying Batmobile, and it's their Batmobile throughout the whole story.
And they're chasing a guy called Mr. Toad, I think?
Yeah, it was Toad. He's like this mutant Toad guy.
But he's working for Professor Pig.
Who's really screwed up.
Yes. He's demented.
Yeah.
But we also get a peek into the Domino mystery, because Mr. Toad was carrying a briefcase full of dominoes. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. So that's kind of weird. But Damien goes after Professor Pig on his own, and gets captured, of course.
Yeah, it happens.
So, but Grayson comes in, saves him, and there was a little girl who.
Well, she was a teenager.
Yeah, I guess so. She looks smaller toward the beginning, though.
Yeah.
That's why it confused me.
But later on, she's like older, I think.
If you say so. Well, there's the fat lady. That's funny. Oh, you remember that giant ATV?
Yes. I love when Dick was interrogating him by holding him off the side. Yeah, there was a fight at the police station in the first issue where, and this is where Dick got caught his cape, and he was upset about it because he felt like he could have handled it better because a couple policemen lost their lives and were killed, and a couple more wounded. It was all with these circus-themed villains too, and they had their own little thing. Like if you play D&D, you know what Thieves' Cant is, viewers, which is rogues get this special language. Well, this is like circus cant, and since Dick grew up in the circus, he understands all of it. So that kind of helps him solve the mystery and stuff of where they're from and what they're talking about.
Yeah. I'm trying to find where the girl was talking to her father, like before she got captured.
Yeah.
So that was the first issue?
That was in the first issue, yeah.
I never saw it.
Well, it definitely wasn't where they were getting burned. Like the place was getting burned down. There.
Oh, yeah. I guess she was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm always right.
Oh, sorry. My mistake. But anyway, she gets captured. I think she's like an immigrant.
Yeah, her father was doing work for a cartel, and her uncle was also into it. And their cartel works with Professor Pig, the real messed up guy.
But she gets captured. She's turned into one of Pig's Dolatrons.
Yeah,
he puts a face on them, and somehow that
fuses mind controls. And if you take it off, it takes their face off. So
yeah, she's afraid to take it off the whole time because she doesn't want to lose her face.
But hers was messed up. It didn't take control over her. She still had her will, but I mean, she was kind of messed up though. Well,
which
anyone
is weird because he put a face on her dad too, and she freaking goes in there and kills her dad. So I don't know why she did that. I still don't understand why she did that.
Probably just her being so messed up, and maybe there's a little bit of rewiring from the mask. It didn't rewire her to...
Do you think she was just angry at him because...
because then there was that one part where she's like, Mom was absolutely right when they got into arguments, saying that they were better off back in their home country than going to Gotham. So, I mean...
It's still messed up to kill the guy, though.
Yeah. Morrison writes some dark stuff.
Yeah, he does. And she starts killing the other...
When we get into the Return of Bruce Wayne, the intro to the cowboy section...
That was straight out of a Western.
Yeah, it was.
That was good.
That was like Red Dead Redemption 2 stuff.
But, she kills some of Pig's other Dolatrons, too.
Yeah.
And,
these cops run in because security, one of the Dolatrons, that they had him in the hospital to try and help him. And, of course, since they were dangerous, they had cops there. And the cops rush in, but she gets saved by Red Hood, who shows up. And he
wants her to come with him.
Yeah, be his sidekick, because he's going on a new campaign in Gotham to make the punishment fit the crime, which means he's just going to start gunning down all the criminals he can find. That's Jason. And yeah, this isn't like Hush where it's just Clayface. It is Jason.
You know what I read in the back of the book? Look at this cover.
Yeah.
What do you see, like, overall?
I see a bunch of hands on the ceiling, but I also see this blue part as two giant hands going
So
for.
these are eyes.
Yeah.
These are hands.
And then there's the little hands.
They're saying that it's reminiscent of the Killing Joke.
I can see it. I can see a little bit of the Killing Joke.
It's a stretch, but they mentioned that
Yeah.
in the back here. Let me show you. It was before that. Yeah, see?
Yeah, I see it.
But anyway, oh yeah, dragging that guy.
Just don't drop me.
Pretty cool scene there.
Yeah.
But issue 4, we get a cool guy named Lightning Bug.
Yeah.
Don't
He's
you
a
love
cool.
Lightning
He's a
Bug?
cool villain. Like he's out about doing his thing. Because
Yeah,
I mean, Batman. Everyone doesn't know that Batman's back. So some villains still think that it's free reign and he's out exercising that right. Well, Batman isn't who finds him, but Red Hood does, and he diagnoses him with a case of death and shoots him in the throat.
It's called Dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got blasted through a wall.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and he fell and crushed that car.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it wasn't crazy.
Well, I mean, Penguin. I just read the part where Penguin got jumped out a window too. So I thought that's who you were, because when he got shot originally, he was in the apartment. And I thought it just ended there. He just died there. I didn't know they threw him out.
But that girl is going by the name of Scarlet now.
Yep.
And she's running around Red Hood. She has a cape too. Cool
She has a
stuff.
costume. She has knives.
Yeah. She's super deadly.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't know how, but I mean.
yeah. But they're going around punishing the guilty. Let the punishment fit the crime,
Yep.
Wyatt.
Let the punishment fit the crime.
Then we get a scene where all the Gotham's crime bosses are meeting together to kind of take over a Gotham without Batman. Because, like, I guess Batman and Robin haven't really made a big appearance yet. So, but Red Hood kills them, all of them.
Well, not all of them.
Well, not the Penguin, but
There
all
was
of
a
the rest of them.
No, one of them survived. Remember, he was brought to one in the hospital, and he had police guard. It was the one in the mask.
One in the mask.
He wore like one of the masks that Robin wears.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because he shows up later on, and he eats popcorn that the Joker provided later on.
That is really specific.
Yeah, I think that was him. That may have been the senator. Can't remember. But see, Penguin survives. And that other one survived. Like, trust me on this. Like, he shows up later on, like, in a hospital bed, and he's, Commissioner Gordon's asking him what El Presidente, whatever his name is.
El Penitente.
El Penitente, yeah. What he's doing.
Whatever. Anyway, he kills them. And then we're introduced to Oberon Sexton.
Yep.
Pretty interesting character.
Yeah, he's a writer from England, published too. Like but he's also a detective. But he had a burned face. So he wears a mask, real weird. It was like some Hush vibes. And boy, when we get to reveal who it is, it completely out of left field for me.
Well, they make you think that it's Bruce.
Yeah,
which
they
was
do.
Cool.
Like you think it's Bruce Wayne, and
I was like, oh, okay.
The guy who it is, I can totally understand how he could act that way and make people think he was Bruce.
Morrison.
Yeah. Tanner would hate this.
Cutting to issue 5, we see this plane that went down, and it's filled with dead bodies. I think they're all prostitutes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Flamingo.
I'm calling that the Flamingo Massacre.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So it's like this guy named Eduardo Flamingo.
He fought the cartels, but then he got captured, and they like messed with his brain and like they brainwashed him and forced him to kill his family.
His own family, yeah.
So now he's super crazy, works for the cartels, and kills anyone who doesn't. And I don't think he can feel pain. Because, I mean...
Probably not.
Probably not, because, I mean, he knows combat and stuff. Like, he's super deadly, but, like, he doesn't have any powers or anything. Like, he just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
He's not Slade Wilson level.
But then we see the Batman and Robin get captured by Red Hood.
Yeah.
And they stick him in his lair, which is a truck.
Yeah.
Like an 18-wheeler or something.
Was that when they were unmasked?
He was going to, like, there's a webcam setup where
they're in their underwear, too. And the Red Hood puts out a live stream or something. It's him repeating, saying, if you call in, if I get 1 million calls, this webcam will show Batman and Robin unmasked.
Which is
naked.
really funny.
Yeah.
Because that's how that's how Jason died.
Yeah.
Because they put out a comic and they said, hey, do you vote.
Yeah.
The fans decide. Do you want him to live or die? And they killed him.
Said to die.
That's funny.
And an old woman was like trying to call in, and her husband or whatever is like, why do you care? She's like, did you not hear him? He said naked. But then when they get 1 million calls, but Damian and Dick have busted out of the ropes, and they have their costumes back on. So when the webcam snacks on, they say, Batman and Robin says, Red Hood can't keep his promises. And y'all need to get a life, is what Damian says.
Yeah. But while they're breaking out, Red Hood is getting attacked by the Flamingo.
Yeah.
And so they fight him.
And Scarlet is like, she's been scared of him her entire life because she knows what he is. So she kind of freezes up at parts. And then when she does act and he doesn't go down, she freezes up again because she's like, it didn't work. I can't do anything.
Yeah. But they eventually defeat him, and Jason is arrested.
Yeah.
Damian got paralyzed by the Flamingo.
Yeah. He got shot in the back a whole bunch of times. I'm pretty sure it was Flamingo. Jason didn't do that.
But that will lead into an interesting part later.
Because since Damian is still kind of in the League of Assassins, his mother's paramedics show up and take him away, and they use this crazy surgery. He's in like this tank filled with some type of liquid. It's kind of like Hoth in Star Wars when Luke is in the Bacta. But and Alfred is there too with him, but he leaves before it's finished, and so he gets a new spine, experimental.
Yeah. Where was I?
He was paralyzed.
Oh, and the Scarlet got away and her face came off.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool.
And she didn't show up again.
Ending. No, she didn't. I think she just gets a happy ending.
Okay. That's a different one than normal.
Yeah. And like you said, El Penitente is the big bad, pulling all the strings. We'll find out who he is later.
Oh, yeah.
And one of his men calls Gravedigger, which is Oberon Sexton, to give him instructions to... I guess he's like trying to blackmail Sexton.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you're going to do what we say.
And Sexton's like, nope.
Yeah. Well,
which makes
sense. I didn't know who it was, so I was like, okay, he might go through with this. Like, you're looking at Sexton cautiously. You're like, okay. But, and then he always ends with these crazy last pages. Dick opens this vault containing Batman's corpse. And... of course, the password is Zur-En-Arr to get in.
Tanner would really hate that. Morrison, stop referencing Zur-En-Arr.
So then we get this cool, like, British issue.
Yeah, where
with Knight and Squire.
Yeah, and the one escorting him, that's the old Knight, and he's like the jail. He's the warden for Britain's version of Arkham Asylum, pretty much. It's like MI6. It's under Buckingham Palace or something. And you have to get clearance from the Queen to go in.
Yeah.
Which is actually, I thought about this, for vigilantes, getting the Queen to knight you with royal privilege, that's probably good because you're a sanctioned vigilante then. Like, we don't have that in the States, so, I mean, if Batman ever slips up, the cops are going to go for him because Gordon can't. He was like, if you kill anyone, I'll track you down.
So, it's like a cool James Bond scene, honestly.
Yeah. And
he's helping Squire save Great Britain from a dirty bomb.
Yeah.
And the Pearly Prince.
Pearly Prince.
And so the Pearly King of crime is being held in that super criminal prison.
Yeah. And it's Dick, and he wants to talk to him, and that's all he wants.
Yep. And then we see Damien's back being repaired. They removed his whole spine.
And gave him a cybernetic one.
And like this green fluid or whatever he was
the
laying in.
Bacta.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You definitely know what that is.
Yeah, Grayson's like running on a yacht. Jumps on a speedboat.
Yeah. This is how because I didn't know if this was like a flashback to actual Batman or still Dick, but when he started doing all the crazy acrobatic stuff, I was like, yeah, that's Dick.
Yeah. But Squire and Batman go down to the abandoned coal mine and meet with the Knight and fight these glowing coal miners.
Yeah. And they discover Batwoman is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you've been reading 52 and all that stuff, you know exactly what she's about.
And the whole thing calls back to the Book of Crime and all those prophecies and stuff. They said that a Dark Knight will be raised on tonight, that they're in there, and then you realize the whole plan. Dick's already been there. There's a Lazarus pit there, and he is the corpse of Batman, and he's kept soaking in the Lazarus pit, hoping to revive him
for a while.
Yeah, and he needs to develop that Bruce Wayne flavor.
But Batwoman was like captured by those people,
yeah,
and she
was supposed to be sacrificed.
Yeah, and she bursts out of a coffin.
Yeah,
and they're just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
And Dick, of course, flirts with her later on.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
as you do.
Because he's a dog.
As you do.
Yeah,
you dog,
Richard.
And then at the end of this issue, Batman's hand is bursting out of the pit, the Lazarus pit. So
you're like, oh, maybe I don't have to read Return of Bruce Wayne.
And then you see Grayson, he's putting on these like shock knuckles.
Yeah, because he's like, if you come out of the Lazarus pit, you'll be crazy for a bit. So
I'm gonna need these.
Yeah.
But it turns out it was a leftover clone from Mockery.
Because remember in Final Crisis, they tried to get in Batman's mind and use clones and put all of his experience into the clones, but none of them could handle it because he's been through so much traumatic stuff.
Because of the trauma.
But they saved one for later.
They saved a corpse.
Yeah, because Darkseid is like a perfect genetic clone of Bruce Wayne. I can use that. Because Darkseid's really evil.
What was the deal with Batwoman? Oh, the mine exploded, and all the rubble was coming down, and Batwoman like gets fatally injured.
Yeah,
she's about to die, and Grayson just gives her some
morphine and makes her OD because she tells him to kill her and
put her in the pit.
So she'll be fine. And they do that.
But of course, you know, that was because the Bat clone blew it up.
Yeah.
But,
well, actually, it wasn't the Bat clone. It was the Pearly King.
The Pearly King?
Not the Pearly King, but the King, the British villain. The ones who had the coal miners there doing stuff. Like, he blew up the mine.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You're supposed to be the one who took notes.
Well, you take it then.
No, continue.
Yeah, okay. Batclone steals their plane and goes to Wayne Tower,
But
beats up Alfred,
Yeah.
finds Damien, who's just returned from surgery.
and he's in a wheelchair.
What's he gonna do?
He ends up throwing the wheelchair at him. Only Damien.
Freaking Damien. Yeah, issue 9, we see Batwoman gets revived in the Lazarus Pit. She's not crazy at all.
Yeah.
Actually.
And she has someone at MI6 there. And
It could be because she hasn't been dead but a few minutes.
True. That's probably something to do with it. But yeah, and the MI6 dude is like, "Oh, Batman, we have this experimental top secret jet that we can lend you to get back since yours got stolen."
Thank you,
And
good
he's
sir.
like, "Thank you, good sir." And he had some type of relationship with Batwoman too. I don't know what they were doing, but probably just having tea parties.
No, he was like her guy in the van, you know.
They did it in the van?
No, like
I'm kidding.
But Damien, when that clone shows up, he knows it's a clone because it's like mumbling and crap, like mindlessly. It was funny. He literally says, "Hi, you're ooer."
Yeah. I had no idea what if he was saying anything or not. I was just like, what is he doing?
It's funny because like
He throws a
he's
computer.
saying real words,
Yeah.
but they're spelled differently. You boy wonder.
Yeah.
And he says the number 2 instead of 2.
It's like Bizarro. It's like trying to read
Yeah,
Bizarro.
it kind of is. That was a funny part. But they defeat that clone.
Yeah.
I think he ends up deteriorating, or
Yeah.
I think he gets blown up. Well, if I can get past all the Batwoman stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't
Wow,
get defeated.
Alfred is holding a cricket bat.
Yep.
Good job, Alfred.
I thought he'd show up with a shotgun because there's that one panel of him loading one. He's like, "I think you get off on on my master's swearing off of firearms. So you will see I just subscribe to no such niceties." Yeah, imagine if Alfred got let loose on Gotham. He'd cap some people.
Yeah, man.
MI6.
There he is throwing the
Yep,
wheelchair.
he threw the wheelchair.
That's funny. But yeah, so that's like the first 9 issues of just Batman and Robin. Then we cut to Batman 700, which is it's a celebration issue, obviously. So it's gonna have like some annual type things. There's several different stories, but they're all written by Morrison, and they obviously all tie in to the story. So there's an ongoing mystery throughout the whole thing about the death of Professor Nichols. We will see later again. His younger self traveled to the future and killed him. So, like, when we see it, it's an old man who's just murdered.
Yeah.
But it starts off with Adam West, so you get the Adam West Batman, so you get all the goofy stuff. Then it's the present day with Grayson, and then it's that apocalyptic future that Grant Morrison likes with Damien as Batman. And then we get to see Terry McGinnis Batman. Let me flip through that issue. So there's Purple Catwoman,
Yeah.
the Riddler without the question marks.
Hello, bats.
Hello, Batsy. But yeah, that Professor Nichols we will see later.
The apocalyptic Damien Batsuit, though.
I know, right?
It's pretty cool.
It's like a trench coat
Yeah.
that popped up. We also saw that in Batman 666.
Yeah.
Which is in the first book. But yeah, basically this is like a taste of what you'll see later. Remember Professor Nichols, though.
And now, instead of this next couple issues, it's not Batman and Robin. They call him Batman versus Robin.
Oh, I didn't see that because my covers are...
Yeah, mine had it.
That's cool.
Yeah. So these
How
couple
many
issues,
of them?
2 or 3. I think it was 3 issues when they finally got him all straightened out, and he was left by the League of Assassins. But
I love this part as a business major.
Yeah, because
Damien holds a shareholder meeting to discuss the financial irregularities that have been going on.
And he's talking about that and talking about how there's been so much money going to this fund. And one of the shareholders like coughs, and he's like, I hope that's not a guilty cough. And he's very intimidating here. Like, just go ahead and show that.
Business Damien.
Yep.
Oh.
Because Dick earlier on is like, I don't do numbers. And Damien's like, I can do that easy.
Yeah.
And Mr. Fox is like, I know this isn't normal, but Damien.
But basically, he just solved their whole financial crisis.
Problem.
Like,
in an
instantly.
afternoon.
Yeah. And he knows everybody's name in the room, and he's like calling it like it is. It's really funny.
I like how everyone, like, he just pops up out of nowhere at that party earlier when Sexton was there, and these girls are like, I didn't know Mr. Wayne had a son. And the other one's like, forget that. Tell me how to get with Richie Grayson.
Jeez. We get a really funny scene here, now that you know who it is, of Batman and Oberon Sexton investigating the Domino murders. Mm-hmm. And basically this has been going on starting from Europe, Eastern Europe, all the way to Western Europe, and now into
and the deaths are all like cliche
really
jokes.
Suspicious.
Like Dick says, it's like we're playing a modern game of Clue. Like Russian general over here, a guy eaten by an alligator,
a cardinal, a media guy. The oil sheik choked on peanuts.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's funny.
Especially now that we know who that is.
Yeah. We might as well say it now.
No, let's wait for the reveal. We gotta...
Whatever. Alfred, Grayson, and Damien are investigating at Wayne Manor. Alfred has been checking out the rooms and everything, and he notices that there's a blank portrait, or an empty space where a portrait used to be. Mm-hmm. But they believe Bruce is lost in time due to the Omega effect. He's not dead.
As you do.
You know.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my great-grandpa, he's lost in time.
Yeah, man. Could be.
That's a dark freaking joke for me. I should not say that.
Jeez.
Anyway.
Looking at portraits, some of which are actually Bruce himself.
Yeah.
So...
He's his own grandfather. I'm kidding. That's a Futurama reference.
But Grayson then finds a secret bat cave where you've got like Barbados written on the walls. There's the cow is hanging on the wall, like from the dawn of man.
Yeah.
Wasn't that when he left it there?
And when he finds it, Damien Robin, he grabs a sword on the wall and he walks up behind him and carves into his... It looks like in this issue that he's about to kill him, but I mean, he just like wounded him.
Mm-hmm.
And it flashes to a panel of Talia, and so you know something's up.
Yeah.
Because she's like watching this happen. So what happened was... Yeah. When he went to the League of Assassins to get his spine repaired, the spine they gave him lets them to control his body. So...
Yep.
Yeah, and
Plug and play.
Yeah, pretty much. Talia wants him to kill Dick and quit this Robin foolishness and return to take up the mantle as the leader of the League.
And she gives the keys to none other than
Slade. Because Slade
That's
really
true.
wants to kill old Dick.
Yep.
Because of all that stuff that happened in Teen Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all because of that.
Slade. You remember how he said it in the show every time he met Slade. Good show. Ruined.
So, Grayson kind of gets sucked in through a trapdoor when Damien was kind of swinging at him, and they got separated. So that's how Grayson found the other Batcave.
Mm-hmm.
And then Damien ends up in the graveyard, and Sexton grabs him, and they're like hiding around the corner from El Penitent's men. See right there. Yeah, so now we're kind of like weaving in the Return of Bruce Wayne issues, so we're going to like alternate between them. And this is issue 1.
Which takes us to the Dawn
of Man. With Vandal Savage.
Yeah. Was he the one in issue 3? Like, there was the French guy. His name was also Savage, or Savage, too.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
Man, that was a rough age for him. He was all on opium.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's hard being that old.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so we get to meet the deer people.
The deer people, yes.
The deer tribe.
Immediately attacked by Vandal Savage and his blood mob.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they call Bruce a man god, pretty much.
There's this boy, and he rescues Bruce. And
yeah, I like how in all these stories he has a young boy to help him. Like he gets a Robin in every issue.
You boy,
put on this leotard.
Here, put these on.
Put these on. Tiny.
You'll be more aerodynamic.
What a new costume.
They escape Vandal Savage, and then Batman is transported to the Pilgrims.
Yeah.
Pilgrim Times.
Pilgrim Times. What?
And there's like a kraken, a mystic, like a cosmic kraken following him.
Yeah. We have to get to the next issue of Batman and Robin then, because that's the reading order.
I know.
But don't talk about it yet.
I'm still in this issue.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So yeah, he's followed by a kraken. Meanwhile, the Justice League just missed him.
Yeah. They show up in that time frame. They're like, darn.
Rip Hunter and Booster Gold and Green Lantern,
Booster
Superman.
Gold.
I think there's 4, right? And Skeets.
Yeah, Skeets.
My
favorite characters.
They're going through time trying to catch Bruce because apparently if he comes back to their time
with all that Omega energy,
then it'll be the end of the world.
Yep.
So,
and should say Batman has lost all his memories. When he's doing all this, he has no idea who he is.
Right. He even says it on the recording, like, I don't even know my own name.
Yeah. It's like Batman is just, you took everything from me. Thanos is also Batman. I don't even know who you are.
Jeez. That's a quality meme.
Yeah.
You should make one.
I should. I'm a memester. But then we get this cool cover of Damien and Sexton. The team
Holding
up.
a shovel.
The team up of the century.
A continuing team up through this whole book.
Yep.
So Batman and Robin 11. The Thomas Wayne, Simon Hurt is El Penitente.
Yep.
We find out. So he's the Mexican drug lord, I guess, that's been pulling all the strings with this. What did they call it? Some kind of.
It's a virus.
Train. They called it some train.
Train of crime?
I don't know.
But their whole plan is the Professor Pig guy who's really messed up. He invents this virus that will get people hooked on a drug, so they can just infect junkies pretty much and rule everything on a drug empire. So that's their whole plan.
In the graveyard, Damien thinks the Sexton could be Bruce.
Mm-hmm. And he says it. Like, he asks him flat out, are you Bruce Wayne?
Mm-hmm.
But then the 99 Fiends show up.
Yeah.
And while this Batman shows up, but while this is happening, Damien starts getting controlled by the League.
Mm-hmm. With that spinal implant.
Yeah.
and we got Deathstroke taking the wheel, and that's where it ends. That's where that issue ends. So, The Return of Bruce Wayne #2, the Justice League visits the Vanishing Point, which is a really cool concept.
I think so too. It's the station. They're all at the end of the universe, and all these analysts are taking all knowledge of everything that's ever happened,
And they're shoving it through a black hole.
Yeah, because later on they say they're trying to restart, like make a new universe with the time stream and stuff. So, they're
pushing it back into the beginning of time. So it's like on an infinite loop. They're just rebooting it. That's what they say.
It's a real cool concept. They're like, this timeline will be destroyed in 10 minutes.
But like the host there explains how time works actually. So there's linear time, which is what we see, versus plane time.
Here, time is not made out of lines. It's made out of circles. Otherwise, clocks would not be round.
So like, as Wyatt is holding up a pencil, this is linear time. But
time is more like a
plane time. We're adding a third dimension.
Yeah, think of it as a ball of wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. That's from an expert on time.
So it's like going from 2D to 3D, which, Grant Morrison, he loves. What was it, 5D?
Yeah, Grant Morrison is playing 5D chess with these characters.
But like Superman was seeing in 5D or something.
Yeah, that happened. Was it 5D or 4D?
I don't remember. It could.
It was 4D. Another dimension he was seeing. We'll just leave it at that.
I have to let my eyes adjust. But there's many converging and diverging timelines. So that means possible futures, possible outcomes. Basically, time is not just one line. Yeah. It's like a whole tapestry, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
So Batman gets rescued by Annie.
And Annie, if you've ever been in the public school system, in elementary school, you probably read The Witch of Blackbird Pond. She's pretty much the Witch of Blackbird Pond. But she's an actual witch.
Yes, she is. And she has the symbols of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, which I was like, where did that come from?
That's just that whole thing from him, from that rocket going into the dawn of man, and him leaving all that stuff behind. I think it was from that.
Were they actual items, or was it cave drawings?
They looked like actual items.
Okay.
And they show up later on, I believe.
Yeah. I'll just take your word for it. I don't really care.
Okay.
But I remember him pulling something out of the rocket. Yeah, it was just dust. Okay.
But he has Superman's cape.
Yeah, he does, because he wrapped him in the cape. I guess.
But yeah.
That doesn't really make sense. Because, like, in the Final Crisis issue...
You got so quiet, and then you got really loud.
In the Final Crisis issue, he's holding, like, a scorched corpse. It's like a skeleton now.
Yeah.
In his cape. But wouldn't that be the clone?
I have no idea.
Because when Batman got zapped, he just disappeared, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought
so too.
And that corpse would be the clone.
Listen, Grant Morrison just plays 5D chess with these characters, so we can't see into that dimension.
You're right. I'm sorry. Where was I? And Annie summons the dragon that's been killing those locals.
Yeah. Like, because she is an actual witch, but, I mean, Batman doesn't know that. He's really just thought she was a nice woman.
Yeah.
And he's, like, being a detective in this town. Like, he solves a murder. Like, everyone thinks it was the devil. And the woman who did it is like, it was the devil. Look, there's a bat nailed on my door.
Her.
But it was her. And
she killed her husband.
Yeah, and they were, like, testing her for a witch by drowning her. And he's like, get her out of there. And because she was probably being beaten. So, I mean, by her good Christian husband.
Mm-hmm.
So, he looks at everything logically. And
the whole situation was just really bad.
Yeah.
There was no good guy.
There wasn't. And the guy who was like, they're all witches, turns out to be a Wayne. Because remember, when Batman is fighting the dragon that she summoned, he tells her, Annie, to run away. And she does. She goes back to her house. But this guy is still there. Well, not still there. He's waiting for her with a whole bunch of guys. And they go to hang her because they're like, you're a witch. We're going to hang you. And they do. But before she dies, she says, a curse on you, Nathaniel Wayne. On you and all your descendants forever till the end of time.
After that, we get a peek into the future where Bruce is that archivist.
Mm-hmm.
It's really trippy. And he gets transported to Blackbeard, the pirate.
It's time for Pirate Batman. Yar.
Yar. So Batman and Robin 12, Grayson defeats Deathstroke, as you do.
By electrocuting Damian.
Mm-hmm. And
because of the feedback or something.
Damian and Grayson pay the League a visit.
Yeah. And Talia shows Damian a full-on clone that's exactly like him in a tube. So she says, I don't need you anymore, pretty much. So if you refuse all this, I just have another one that I can try again with. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you don't matter. And he's like, well, I'm not joining you. I'm still being Robin.
You will see that clone later.
Yeah, of course we will.
Yeah.
The Clone Saga.
Oh, boy. Just what we need.
Yep. See, those are some of the ones that survived, I'm pretty sure. From, remember when Red Hood went in and killed everyone? Those are the ones who survived.
I don't know. I thought they were different people.
No. Because those guys in that meeting all had those masks on. Oh, yeah, and when they visited the League, Dick paid Slade a visit in the hospital, and he, like, smacked him with his IV rack.
Oh, yeah, it was the League. I thought I wrote Justice League, but it was the League of Assassins. Yeah. I was confused a second. Yeah. Damian basically is no longer welcome in the House of Al Ghul because he's clearly said that he's not following his mother's footsteps. So he's kind of on his own.
Yeah, this was Damian's version of, it's not just a phase, Mom. This is who I am.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Exactly. I went through that. Just kidding.
And we see that Thomas Wayne is holding a senator hostage.
Mm-hmm. That senator, he was the only survivor from the Black Glove Society.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the team, I wrote team, it's Alfred, Grayson, and Damian.
Uh-huh.
They discover a layout of Wayne Manor and a bat symbol.
Yeah.
Like the garden and everything.
It all creates a
cool
bat
symbol.
They never looked at the Wayne Manor on Google Earth until now.
Yeah, man. No, it's like layouts that you can't see. Where did that happen?
Is it on the next page?
No, it's not there.
It's not there. No, and it's not back there either. Because that's all the League stuff. Wait, no, it's right here, isn't it?
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Wayne Manor. It makes a bat. And then, here's where we find out who Oberon Sexton is finally.
Yep, he takes off the mask after Dick is telling everything that's happening. And he's like, I know who you are. And Oberon Sexton takes off the mask. And it is not Bruce Wayne, it's me, the Joker. Hello, Batsy.
That was a pretty good twist. And fun.
And completely out of nowhere. I had no idea that was going to happen. But when everything is like, they're all together again, like when Bruce Wayne does return and they're all talking and he's like, wait, Damian's in a Robin costume? And other stuff. Damian's telling him everything that's going up. He's like, oh yeah, and the Joker's on our side, mostly. Except for that thermonuclear bomb he put in the bat bunker.
Yeah. Now we get that Blackbeard issue.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really write much for this one. There's a team up with Jack Valor, who's like just this guy who was captured by Blackbeard. I guess
He was the Black Pirate, which is like a descendant from
he's the real one. Yeah. But
they think Bruce is the Black Pirate
because isn't he wearing that?
No, it washes up like they get it and they think it's his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. But Blackbeard uses Bruce to find the Miagani tribe cave.
Miagani means bat people.
Yeah.
They're the descendants of, at the dawn of man, Batman, helped the deer people out against the Blood tribe.
Mm-hmm. And
the Blood tribe ended up sending Savage away. Like, that's when he got the mark or something and was in exile. And, so the dude who helped him out did so dressed up in Batman gear and stuff, so they pretty much became a culture called the Bat People. And they're really, I think it's really cool because their clothes is all like leather, but they have pouches and stuff that look like Batman's pouches, like his utility belt and stuff. So that's how you can see how they developed as a culture based on Batman.
They basically look like Indians.
Yeah, but with Batman pouches.
Mm-hmm.
And the political correct term is Native American.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
We're going to need a PSA before this one.
But during this time it was the Indians, so I'm correct.
But we don't need to remember that part of history, right?
Oh!
Forget it all.
How dare I?
I'm kidding.
And, yeah. I don't really think... Like, it was fun to read.
Yeah. Not much happens that's important until the end of it.
And then we see... It cuts to Jonah Hex's time. And he gets hired to take Batman out.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. And this is the cool picture of Batman as a cowboy.
Mm-hmm. Yeehaw.
Red Dead Redemption 3.
Now we're cutting into the lost chapters. Both of these issues, 701 and 702 of Batman, they were in the Final Crisis Omnibus.
Yep.
So we kind of just read them again here. I think they helped. You didn't read them again?
No.
How dare you?
I cut some corners because, I didn't.
How dare you?
I needed to.
How dare you? What other corners did you cut?
None. That was it. I just didn't read 700, 701, and 702.
You didn't read 700?
But we already read it, so, I remembered it.
Not 700. We never read 700.
Yeah, we did.
No. That's only in here.
Well.
You missed the part about Professor Nichols.
Yeah, I guess I did. Viewers, I read all of these except for those last night and today.
Yeah.
I read 26 issues.
Which is why you're able to remember all of these freaking details. I'm just like, okay.
They say cramming doesn't work. I beg to differ.
For now it works. But this issue takes place with the first fight versus Dr. Hurt. So this is about Bruce.
Yeah.
And,
is that when he broke out of that grave?
Yeah, it was right after that. He fought him, and then that helicopter crash happened. And so Bruce survives, but we don't know what happened to Dr. Hurt. Obviously, we know that he survived, but he never sees him.
Yeah.
And he finds the hidden room of Barbados written on the walls, which Grayson will find later. Let's see if I can get to that part. Yeah, he slept for, a week? Didn't he?
He slept for a long time. Yes. What?
Oh, I don't want to hear it, Mr. Details.
My details matter, though.
Who are you to decide what details matter?
I am the detailist.
Yeah, so 702.
Yep.
Batman. It just shows Batman loading that radion bullet and shooting Darkseid.
Yep, which was badass.
Yeah, it was. But Darkseid gets him back with that Ancestor box.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A Grant Morrison creation. Gets sent back through time, and time is pliable. So that means that Darkseid can do whatever he wants, I guess. Yeah. And, but the cool thing is that Darkseid manipulated time around Batman, so that's how he's able to, like, phase into different time periods. But yeah, and the holding things. It's a reoccurring theme throughout this whole book. Batman and Robin 13. 3 days in the future, Thomas Wayne will reveal himself to Gotham. But we get like a sneak preview of 3 days in the future, and then it cuts back to present.
Yeah, like he's walking and he has people, like he has press all around him. They're like, Mr. Wayne, can you comment on your son's weird behavior? And it's like, lawyer or whatever. It's like, he's not answering any questions at this time. And he has this creepy smile the whole time.
Hey.
He's like,
I'm back.
I'm back. I'm going to ruin everything Thomas and Martha Wayne built.
But since Joker's Oberon Sexton, we might as well make him the guy behind all those killings.
Yep, the domino murders. Yeah, that was all Joker.
And apparently Grayson got an antidote from Professor Pig.
Yeah, he found it in his lab. He's like, I wonder which one's the antidote. Probably this one that says antidote.
It's not suspicious that he left it there. But turns out that was actually a way to infect Gotham with something else.
Yeah, it's a virus, a common cold.
It basically gives the person an urge
for their drugs.
Like they go through crazy withdrawal pain,
and the only way they can get better is with those drugs.
By the end of the story, I think like 18% of Gotham was infected by that.
So there's rioting going on throughout the entire
chaos.
place. Gordon had it for a bit. I laughed so hard. Gordon fights it off, and he busts into the police station, and he's wearing a dress.
Don't ask.
Don't ask. Give me some clothes. We're taking back Gotham. I laughed so hard.
Oh my god.
That was so funny. I love Gordon.
And then we see Damian. So obviously, when he found out that the Joker was Oberon Sexton, he had him arrested.
Yeah.
But Damian breaks into the interrogation room.
Well, he doesn't break in. He goes in because
again,
Dick,
details.
Yeah. Dick takes Gordon off to talk to him, and Robin just goes in with him, and he starts interrogating him and beating him with the crowbar a little bit. And the cops are like, "Open up the door!" But then they hear him beating him. They're like, "Oh, screw him!" They're like, "All right, kid, go ahead." But this is a really cool part because Joker ends up getting the upper hand here. Like he cuts him a little bit and like gets poison into his system.
His fingernails were
had
coated with poison.
Yeah, the laughing poison. And so Damian
turns into a Joker.
Yeah, and he's like, you're the best Robin ever. You're so funny. You even bring me a crowbar, and you laugh so much. Where have I seen this before? Calling back to when he beat the living hell out of Jason Todd with a crowbar after making him laugh.
Yep. And Grayson and Gordon were in the bat plane and got shot down. Yeah. And they're surrounded by all those Dollatron people.
The bat plane has no chaff or any sort of countermeasures, apparently.
Yeah.
You'd think Batman would have
It's just
that.
a prototype.
Okay,
just
true.
a prototype.
I'd put that in the prototype.
Issue 4, The Return of Bruce Wayne. Vandal Savage and Thomas Wayne are being chased by Batman. This is the Jonah Hex.
And boy, does it open up dark. Like, it opens up to a family. They're like...
they're dragged down the street. The husband's hanging from a tree. Dog is shot.
And the son, who's a little kid, is like, "Don't hurt my mom or I'll kill all y'all."
He's holding a rifle, and the guy just guns him down.
Yeah. And the mom, who's the only one left because they take the daughter, she's like, "If you can't stop this, then send me your most avenging angel." And then Bruce Wayne shows up. With cowboy,
with the bat belt draped over his shoulder,
like a bandolier. He's full on cowboy clothes. Like he went, like as soon as he arrived, it wasn't like Terminator where he's like, "Give me your clothes." He went to the clothes shop and picked out what to wear. He's like, "I have to look cool.
Make me look cool.
Make me look like a cool bat guy. I can do that, mister. Let me get your measurements."
Basically, just skipping through all the crap. He defeats both of them.
Yeah.
But Thomas survives after Batman is shot by Jonah Hex.
Yep, and he falls into the water, and he goes to a different time zone.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, you find out later that that book he's been carrying around, the journal, that's what saved him.
Yeah, it stopped the bullet.
Yeah.
Later on, he's reading it. In another issue, he's like, "It's a real lifesaver, to be honest, but I mean, it's got some plot holes because bullets in it."
Yep.
So punny.
And the Wayne of that time, Alan Wayne, who married Catherine something. I don't remember.
Kane. I think it was.
Was
Kane.
it?
I think
that
it was
early. I don't think.
Was it? I want to say Kane, but I'm not sure.
But she dies during childbirth, giving birth to their son Kenneth.
Yeah.
But he builds a garden in her memory, and I think they were already planning to build Wayne Manor at that point. Yeah. So like that garden, that's where the bat symbol comes from.
Yep.
And then Batman ends up in the, what was it, the 20s, 30s, 40s?
It was the same time period when Martha and Thomas got shot. Like, that had just happened when he showed up. Gotham was a criminal-ridden city, because remember, they don't bat an eye when he shows up with a gunshot wound.
But I'm asking you, like, what time period was that in?
I don't know, whenever Thomas and Martha got shot. And Gotham's kind of strange on that, so it's hard to tell.
Oh, you mean like literally?
Yeah.
Well, it would have been 39, I guess.
Yeah, because, I mean, it had just happened.
Okay. I get so confused because I'm like, is this the real Thomas and Martha Wayne?
Yeah,
obviously it's
is.
not.
The ones who got shot were like that, and that's what just happened.
But they're not Bruce's Thomas and Martha.
Yeah, they are.
No.
Yeah.
How could they be? He's not that old.
Well, I don't think it was that early. Like, I don't think it was that early in the time, but because they talk about their son getting sent off to boarding school and all of the bad stuff when he's in that chamber and everything. They're talking about all the stuff they're doing to tarnish their image.
I understand that, but...
And they went to Martha's mom.
If this Bruce Wayne is like 30, and we're in 2006...
Well, I don't think it was the 30s. It looks more like the 60s.
That means that it would have happened in like what, the 70s?
70s. That's what I think where it was. Because it wasn't.
What?
It had to have been. Like I'm telling you, it had to have been.
This is not the 70s.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Gotham's weird.
This is 1920s gangster.
Gotham is weird.
No, it's not that weird. I think Morrison is trying to say, hey, it's 1939 because that's when they were shot in the actual real-time comics. But it couldn't possibly be the real Thomas and Martha Wayne.
Wait, but everything fits, though.
Bruce was not born in the 30s.
Well, I don't know what to tell you because Pennyworth was still their butler and he took him off to boarding school for a bit. That's how they went into the manor.
That wasn't Pennyworth.
It wasn't?
No.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about they actually go to the Wayne Manor. That's the other one. That's the Kane's butler. And I'm not talking about him, but when they go into the Wayne Manor, they talk about how it's been empty because they took the son on a trip.
There's a son, and then Thomas...
And the
Thomas
parents
later,
got shot.
Thomas later talks about that and is saying how they took him in, and I guess he, like, took Thomas's place because he, like, had them both killed, and the son sent off somewhere.
But that doesn't account for the mother when they meet, because there was all this stuff that happened to tarnish Thomas and Martha Wayne's reputation, that he was like their whole thing was hidden. That's
Bruce's parents.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But with the 20s or 30s, whatever, that's not Bruce's parents.
But that's what the mom says though about the whole thing. Like, she says, "I know Thomas killed her and faked his own death." Like, she says that.
I get it. And
that all fits. It has to be Thomas and Martha Wayne. It has
can't
to
possibly be.
It is. It has to be.
That little boy in 1939 is not Bruce.
Gotham has always been weird like that. Sometimes it looks like the 30s. Sometimes it looks like modern day. I can't tell you everything, but you've seen the animated series. You know what it's like.
That's different.
It's weird. He's doing the same thing
This
here.
is literally 20s gangsters.
It's 30s. It's whatever.
They're all wearing fedoras.
Well, he talks about that. He says,
"There's a
I
guy
look
in
like
an
a
iron
gangster."
lung.
Yeah.
You can't tell me this is modern day Gotham.
I'm not saying it's modern
or
day
at least
Gotham.
1970s
It's
Gotham.
gotta be.
Not.
It's everything fits the whole thing.
I'm sorry, it's not.
It has to be.
It's not.
Tell us in the comments below, viewers.
It's not.
You solve this problem. Is it me who's always right, or is it Riley?
It's not. It's not that.
That's probably our most hectic argument on camera. We got loud.
Jeez. Well, let's talk about Batman and Robin 14.
Yeah.
It's
a much less controversial issue.
Damien gets Jokerized.
Yeah.
Gordon gets captured by Professor Pig
and put in a dress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give me some goals. No one's saying
and Grayson got knocked out also and wakes up with Alfred tending to his injuries.
And he's like, how long was I out? Good several hours.
Yeah. And the fun part here is the Joker's using Batman and Robin to get revenge on the Black Glove.
Yeah.
Because they killed Batman, he thinks.
And you don't mess with Joker's Batman.
Yeah.
Because, man,
he loves him.
He's like, I love you, bats. No one's going to kill you but me. And he probably would never kill
Professor Pig injects Gordon, gives him the virus. In front of the media, too, by the way. And Gotham's mayor and Gotham's underworld royalty are also watching.
Mm-hmm. And is this when the Joker pops up and one of the underworld leaders is eating popcorn, and Dr. Her goes, "Who provided the popcorn?" And he just starts laughing uncontrollably because the Joker put his poison that makes people laugh in all the concessions. And Joker even says, "I provided the concessions." See, yeah, it was.
What are you talking about popcorn?
See, right there.
Oh, that guy's eating
He's eating popcorn, and it's like, who supplied the popcorn?
I completely did not catch that. Who supplied the popcorn?
And that calls back because Joker did say, I provided the concessions.
But that guy's eating the popcorn. He pulls a domino out of the bucket, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's Joker's plan while Batman and Robin do
they come
explosion to distract them.
And this is after one thing that happened. They brought Dick and Damien in captured because they tried to take him on head on, but there were too many. And the issue starts with Hurt shooting Dick in the back of the head. But it was such a small caliber round, and we don't find out until later. That's later?
Yeah.
No, that's now.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No. That's like at the very end.
Yeah, but it happened in the beginning of the issue. They show that.
We're not there yet.
I swear it happened before
That's
this.
a different time. It's not here.
No, because see, they come in and it happened at the beginning, I swear. I promise you that.
Well, it happens over here.
Yeah, but it happens in the beginning first.
Well, they probably showed a preview of that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember.
It was in mine.
It could have been at the very beginning of the issue.
That's what I'm saying. It would happen at the very beginning as like a...
Right there. Yeah, I don't know.
It was in mine. It may not be in this omnibus, but it was in mine. Hold on.
Anyway.
Keep talking.
When Gordon got infected by that virus, by Professor Pig, he was going through all that withdrawal stuff, and so that he was kind of made to do things he didn't want to because of that. And he knocks Grayson out. That's how they capture Grayson.
This site had great ads, by the way.
Yeah. But Return of Bruce Wayne number 5, we get a speech from Red Robin at the very beginning. Basically, that Batman's fighting his way back, accumulating enough Omega energy to blow a hole in time, and they need to stop him. And he's also talking about how Batman is Darkseid's weapon. And now we can talk about the 20s issue a little bit.
Yeah.
Basically, I love this issue. It was so fun.
Yeah, you really like this one. Like
Betsy Kane, Martha's mother, believes that Thomas Wayne had her killed. And he gives Miss Lamar, I think she's called Marcia, and Bruce, keys to Wayne Manor to investigate. They discover Alan. Oh, that was cool. They found Alan and Catherine's tomb, which is the people who. He's the one who made the garden.
Built the garden, yeah.
Then the duo heads to Willowwood Military Psychiatric Hospital
to meet up with this super scientist.
See, you would know who he was
if I had read
issue.
The other issue.
That's okay.
But he's Professor Nichols.
Professor Nichols.
Josh Nichols.
But basically, that guy, his thing is creating time travel devices.
Yeah.
He's really good at it, for whatever reason.
Yeah, just 1930s time travel.
Yeah, man. You know.
This is going to start turning into a Command and Conquer plotline.
He must have been in early issues. Yeah. But Thomas Wayne is, I guess, running the hospital, because it's like he's sitting there behind a desk talking to him, so... And he's trying to blackmail Nichols into helping him. And I thought that was how Thomas Wayne got to the present, but I guess it's just because he's...
Immortal.
Immortal. And he just lives.
Yeah.
And he also incapacitated Roderick Kane, which is the guy that had a stroke and is now in an iron lung. That was really sad. And for whatever reason, there's these wasps flying around in their house, and they don't do anything about it.
She's just complaining.
Yeah, they just talk about them like they're flies.
Yeah.
Man, if there's wasps in my house, I'm bring out a flamethrower or something.
You a flamethrower.
Yeah, man.
You really hate wasps, don't you? I would just use anti-wasp spray.
Well, they might not have that.
They had bug spray. They had those old antique bug sprayers that you can turn into a flamethrower, oddly enough. So there you go. You can use both.
I love this scene with the old man in the wheelchair. Bruce is just sitting on a bench, and there's the old man in the wheelchair at the hospital. And he just says, "Batman, beware the hole in things." He's like, "What?"
And then Nichols walks up. It's like, oh, he's just mumbling.
No, the war.
Yeah, don't worry.
Can't
about
speak.
it. Can't speak. He's mute. And Marcia is hanging off of Nichols' arm. She's using her femme fatale persuasion methods.
I should have noticed how suspicious this kiss was.
Yeah.
Because it just came out of nowhere. But I was like, you know what? It's the 30s. You know, movies did that.
Yeah.
Just for no reason.
It was a poison kiss.
It was a poison kiss. She betrayed him.
She is actually...
She mentioned earlier that she was working for this guy named John Mayhew, who's, like, directing a movie, apparently. He's directing a movie, all right, but Bruce is in it. He's the star. So, they split up. He's supposed to, like, go in that masquerade ball outfit with the bat mask. And she, I guess, told him that she was going to meet him or something. I don't know what she even told him. But she puts on a black wig and the pearls, and she's Martha Wayne.
Yep.
Now. And this cult is meeting...
They're summoning the devil again, pretty much. And they need to sacrifice Batman to them.
He refers to himself as Brother Simon here, too, which is pretty cool. There's Bruce in that bat costume.
Masquerade ball thing. I love how he has so many costumes in all these
That's really cool.
issues, yeah. Yeah, she hits him in the back of the head with a golf club.
Mm-hmm.
Her weapon of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And then they light him on fire, and she lights it by throwing away her cigarette.
So, just to clarify, what are they actually trying to do here? Are they trying to summon that bat god
Yeah,
thing?
and they need to sacrifice him to do it.
They need to sacrifice him.
So
Okay.
they're trying to burn him alive. But
Right.
before he dies, the time stuff sends him to the future again.
But, like, where do they get a bat god from? Where did that even come from?
The dark side, I'm pretty sure.
You think so?
That's how I
At the
saw
end,
it.
do you remember when that thing turns to a giant bat and flies through in the dawn of time?
Yeah.
Okay, is that their bat god?
Probably,
you
yeah. I think that's it.
Okay.
And that goes into the dark side angle, because that was what was going to do Darkseid's plans. So,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
So that was it.
So he's being burned alive, and he grabs the time travel device from Nichols, because he hesitates. He's like, I don't want to do this. So he grabs it, pieces out of there, and he's in the future now, in the vanishing point.
And he becomes a Terminator.
I am the Terminator.
You've been targeted for termination.
He arrives at the JLA satellite.
Get to the
and he's
chapel.
like, got these wires and crap hanging off of him. It's really weird looking.
It's like a wire cow and cape. He looks like the Borg from Star Trek.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is, do you?
I don't.
Oh, will be assembled.
Thanks.
Resistance is futile. That's where that's comes
Oh,
from.
okay.
They fly around in gigantic cubes.
I love how Batman Robin 15 opens with the Joker dancing with a corpse.
Yeah, with a
Bride.
skeleton.
That's Joker.
Morrison's Joker is so good, though.
He is.
Yeah.
He's perfect. He's not the mastermind at all in this run, but he's just a wild card.
And that's how he was in the original story with Hurt, because I mean Hurt got him to help with the whole thing, but then he was like, "Oh, you thought I was working for you, and that's not how it goes, sonny boy."
Turns out he should have just killed the Joker.
Yeah. Because Joker don't play second fiddle to no one,
But
and
while
you
he's-
always invite the Joker to the table, though.
While he's dancing, Damien is trapped in a coffin.
And he's painted up like he has Joker face paint and a clown
and a
noise.
clown nose.
And you know Damien hates that so much, not just because it's the Joker, but because he's dressed up like a clown in his pride. He's just screaming.
But now he's not like Jokerized anymore. We see Thomas Wayne is finally making an appearance to
He
Gotham.
looks super freaking creepy.
Yeah.
And he shows up at the Wayne Manor, and he's like, "Hey, Pennyworth, old chap, how you doing?" He's like, "Do you remember me?" And he's like, "Oh, yes, of course. Come on in."
And who would have thought that this This whole banana scene would matter.
Yeah, it does. That was so funny.
Don't worry, we're getting to the punchline.
These jokes. Morrison really does play 5D chess with these joke setups.
For real. I feel like if I saw that last scene on screen, I would scream. But it's funny in a comic book.
It is. Reboot DC with this story. DM, please.
No, don't. Don't. It won't work. But, Gordon was still trapped by Professor Pig.
Yeah.
Damien, swoops in and kicks Pig through the windshield of the truck he's driving. And they crash into a tree. But apparently Gordon getting angry was all he needed to overcome the drug.
Yeah.
Just get angry.
He was angry about that dress he was wearing.
You gotta get angry. Yeah, that could have been it.
Yeah.
You put me in a dress.
We'll get to that panel. We'll show you guys that because it is really funny.
And Damien tries to break Grayson out, but gets captured yet again. I think that's the third time he's gotten captured trying to save people.
Yeah, and that's when Dick gets shot in the back of the head.
Not yet, though.
Yeah.
Someone whistles.
How crazy does Commissioner Gordon look when he's in there, though? I had at first didn't even know that was him because of the way the hair is.
I don't understand that hair at all.
And is
it a wig?
Probably. And it doesn't look like he's wearing a dress at first. So when he first popped up,
yeah.
That was when I first realized.
You can kind of see it. The art style is weird,
so
you can't tell. That's funny.
But yeah, and I thought Damien was going to go off here because he had two swords and was going, but then he gets captured in the next panel.
That giant guy.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
Why does this guy keep saying brief bloom? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
He said it again another time. I don't understand that.
I don't even... Is it like in Halo Reach, whenever you fired your gun, the recoil would make it bloom, so you'd get more spread? So he's a brief bloom on this
I don't think so.
Probably not.
But yeah, Grayson gets shot by that little small caliber bullet that doesn't penetrate the
Yeah, it's
the
a 32
skull.
pellet.
Apparently, in less than 12 hours, he will be paralyzed for life.
Yeah, because of cerebrospinal fluid and neurological damage.
If that's a real thing, good on you, Grant. I mean,
yeah, you really
did your research.
Does that mean if I grabbed a little tiny object and threw it at you really hard?
Now we're talking anime villain type things.
My name is Giovanni Giorino.
No. But throughout the story, we've seen that if you whistle a certain tune, that little box thing will open. It's a little back casket that holds apparently the secret to everything.
It offers immortality, all this crazy stuff.
The Fountain of Bat.
Yeah, and he's trying to get it to open, and then you hear a whistle, and it pops open, and guess what's inside?
Gotcha.
A paper that says gotcha. Bruce really channeled his inner Joker for that one.
Batman and Robin both punch Hurt, and then Hurt goes, "What's happening?" And this chilling voice says, "Turn around, Doctor. It's all over."
Yeah,
freaking awesome.
If you've ever watched WWE SmackDown in the day when The Undertaker
Buckle up, Teddy.
The Undertaker was Teddy's limo driver, that's pretty much what happened.
What was that, 2009?
I remember watching that with you when we were young. Oh, when we were young. That was 10 years ago.
Issue 6.
Take
it away.
Oh, I was going to let you take this away, but alrighty. So, Bruce Wayne here, he's at the station at the end of time, and he has his memories back, and he's talking to the analyst and all, and it goes on about stuff. They talk about how this dragon, the Kraken thing that he fought, was sent by Darkseid, and it was taking his memories, and it was following him, and they captured it. And he is the last piece of data that they needed to send through the black hole. So they do that, and he's like, all right, I need you to take my memories when you send me back again. And they send him back, and he has all that technology stuff on him because of Darkseid stuff. But he's planned for that, of course. But as soon as he leaves, we have Superman, Booster, Green Lantern, and
Rip
Hunter. They show up just missing him again. And earlier they get trapped there in a bubble, and they can't break it. But that's not what happens. And then we see this. Did you get this part?
This is the Batman Year One origin.
Okay.
It was like a retelling during the 80s. It's more edgy.
Okay, so it was a reference.
Yeah, it's a reference to that Frank Miller story.
All right, so the Batman shows up in the Hall of Justice, I believe, or was it the Justice League station?
I don't remember. They show both.
I think it was the Hall of Justice. I want to say it is.
Okay.
But he pops up, and Tim is there, and he's trying to talk to him, but then you have Starfire, Cyborg, a couple other League members.
I'm not going to try to name that team.
I'm not going to name.
I don't know any of them.
Is that Doom Patrol?
Apparently that's the Justice League during this
Yeah.
comic. I don't know, man.
Anyway, they show up, and Cyborg is just like, all right, take him down, simplify. And Tim is like, wait, give me 5 more minutes.
Let me talk to him.
Okay, and since at this point, Bruce has the knowledge of everything because of the analyst, so he's just analyzing
That's
all
why
of
he
them.
told him to, like, hey, you need to erase my memory after this, because I'm going to know everything.
Yeah. But he analyzes all of these threats and beats them all handedly. And
this is Bruce as that technology monster.
The Terminator.
Yeah.
And he beats them all, and then Tim like takes off his mask and is like, you know me, I know you. And he's like, all right.
He
Red
does
Robin.
start to remember.
Yeah, and he does.
But then Diana shows up with his cowl.
And Batman, he's starting to remember things. He's like, use your lasso of truth, and
Make me tell which I don't understand. Like, does that make you tell the absolute truth or your truth that you know?
I guess the absolute truth based on this, because if it was only your truth, he wouldn't have known.
But I've seen it the other way before.
Well, Morrison did it this way.
Which I was like, plot hole, but whatever.
Morrison says 5D chess, no plot holes. This is how it is. But yeah, so he plans this all out. The suit he's wearing is going to destroy everything, because that's how it happens.
Yeah.
But he planned for that, because here comes Superman, Booster, Rip Hunter, and Green Lantern, because that bubble they were trapped in was actually a huge time machine.
Time sphere.
It's time sphere, and it's super advanced, even more so than Rip Hunter's. And he's the master of time travel for the League. So they pop up, they get out, and Batman rips the suit off of himself and tosses it into the sphere, and it transforms into a bat, and they send it back. So
that's where you see that giant bat coming through the cave.
But because he has all that Omega energy inside of him, he has to die for them to get it out of him.
So they kill him.
So he does die, and Diana says, Batman must die, really dramatic.
He had a temperature of like 120?
Yeah. And when that happens, this page happens, and I have no idea.
It's just going through the run, like, the people with the
10 eyes. Yeah, I remembered that. And Darkseid, and whoever the heck that was.
Metron.
That's Metron, the new god.
Yeah.
And that happens. And then another page like that with the callback to that 80s reboot thing with him being a war veteran. Is he a Vietnam veteran?
I don't know what that is.
Morrison?
I don't remember that.
We need a case book, anyway. Then back to the Hall of Justice, and they have him in this pool.
An ice water bath.
Yeah, ice water bath, and they say that it's leaving the body. So after that happens, they revive him after he dies when it leaves. And then
he vomits black.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Blah.
But yeah, then it's showing him like telling everyone to put the gotcha in the box in the past. And everyone shows up, and he's like, all right, time to get back into the action. He's got his full Batman suit on, and he's going to Gotham. And I love what Tim actually says something here, because they need to revive him, and Tim says, here, use this, and hands him a cow, and tell him that Gotham is in trouble and needs him. And that works.
Yep. Now, Batman and Robin 16, the end.
The end.
It's the end of the story.
The end. I'm kidding.
That's it.
Yeah.
We see in 1765, in a barn, these men with powdered wigs are
summoning the devil.
Yeah, pretty much. A giant bat devil thing.
I did not notice this.
You didn't, huh?
No.
Well,
I'm noticing it now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who is that?
That's the same girl that was Martha and Marcia.
Oh. Yeah. Man, these people are like vampires.
Something like that.
But yeah, he's just conversing with this giant bat thing.
And its text is in purple, so that's how I knew it's all Dark Side based, tying into Final Crisis.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of Batman R.I.P. That scene right there. It's just
the Joker mentions Batman R.I.P. somewhere too.
Simon does.
Simon Hurt does. But yeah, he's talking to this thing.
Eats
He
a
eats
freaking
bat. Yeah, that
full
happens.
Ozzy. Full Ozzy Osbourne here. That was gross. But now we're back to today, thank goodness.
Black Mass.
Simon Hurt versus Batman. Final standoff.
Yep. And he's like, it's not just them, though. He has his 99 Fiends, but Bruce, Dick, and Damian versus 99 Fiends. Mm-hmm. And this is a cool fight scene. Usually I don't like comic fight scenes. Just it's more about the story, and the fight scenes kind of get mismatched. But this one was really good.
I'm trying to remember who that was that drew that part. Cameron Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Burnham and Fraser Irving.
Yep.
I don't... In what order, I don't know.
They did good. But yeah, now Dick can finally start fighting like Dick, because he whips out his batons.
Yeah. But basically, he's like, you guys save Gotham, I'm going after Hurt.
Yeah. So Damian, they go after Pig together.
Mm-hmm.
Dick and Damian do. And Dick is starting to slow down, so after they take Pig down, he's like, alright, I'm just going to rest a little bit. You go disarm the nuke. And Damian does.
So Batman follows Hurt into the Batcave.
And Alfie.
Yeah, Alfred has been kidnapped. And he's like, there's running water. It's around my knees. Help.
Yeah. But he tells Batman, he's like, go after Hurt. Don't worry about me. Yeah. But there was another prison that Batman built that he got locked inside. So you think Hurt has captured him and he's going to kill Alfred and Batman. And it's all gone downhill. But then...
I love when freaking Batman breaks out of it.
Because he's looking
He's like, did you really think you could trap me in my own prison?
Yeah, I built that thing myself. And just Hurt is all blood.
He smashes his head through some glass.
Oh, here's Gordon in the dress.
In the dress.
Don't
Gordon
say
in the
anything.
dress.
Give me some clothes.
But yeah, Batman's beating the crap out of him, and then like Hurt dives over the railing into the water,
and that's where Alfred is. So it's like another situation where, like the original during the helicopter crash.
Do I get the bad guy or do I save Alfred?
Yeah, he went. Of course, he went for Alfred.
Yeah, and there's like a line of dominoes apparently.
Yep.
Running out,
and that's how you know.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, he didn't know this at the time. He didn't know anything about it. But he did know the Joker was someone on her side, because there it is. Joker's there.
Right,
he's got
that was a hilarious scene.
Yeah, because he shows up.
You think Hurt's going to escape, but then he meets the Joker.
And there's a gun laying there, and Joker's like, "Who's gonna get the gun first?" And
so Hurt's going for the gun and slips on that banana peel that the Joker left behind a few issues back.
Classic Joker, man.
And freaking, I don't know. I thought he was dead instantly, but like his head was smashed pretty hard on those steps.
And Joker's roasting him too. He's like, "You never even made me laugh until now." And Joker is just he's going off just laughing, and the dialogue is
Basically
really
buries
good.
him while he's dying, and the coffin has some dominoes on it.
Yep, and then he stays there, and Batman walks up and knocks him out. Like, oh yeah, but before that, Damian is disarming the nuke, and Batman's like, status report, and he's like, I'm disarming the nuke.
Okay,
All right,
here's what to
do. Father, I'm too far into this to ever need your help. And he cuts off the connection.
Yep. So
Batman walks up, knocks
Batman
Joker
freaking
out.
decks Joker.
Yep.
Looks like his neck is broken, but
Hey,
what do I know?
he doesn't kill anyone. But traumatic brain injury is just a-okay.
But look at his head.
I know.
The human body can't do that.
It's a comic.
You're right, it is. And then we get to see
Batman Inc.
Batman Incorporated,
Are we
which
gonna
will be
do
the
that?
next volume. The third omnibus. The last one will be Batman Incorporated.
So
stuff.
we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Whenever they.
I like that
announce
announcement too, because I mean, he didn't announce he's Batman. He didn't go full Tony Stark, but Bruce announces that he's been funding Batman this entire
Which
time.
he has.
He kind of technically has.
Yeah.
So yeah, he funds Batman Incorporated.
Oh man,
That's cool.
Yeah, that was the story.
That was a heck of a story.
It was a fun ride.
It was.
I tell you.
A
Especially
fun
that
short
banana
ride.
peel.
Short ride for me.
For you, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably spent just as long talking about it as you did actually reading.
I won't go that far.
But man, that banana peel.
That was great. Banana
real
peel,
MVP.
Gordon in the dress.
Tanner would have hated this story.
He really would have. He said, banana peel, that's stupid. That's what is this, a Looney Tunes comic? What's this reference to a 1980s reboot story, Morrison? No one knows what Zurinar is.
We hope you enjoyed, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Yep, Tanner will not watch it, but you will.